Oh hi, it's the weekend. Now, we're back to my usual posting, but then again, for the past few weeks, there have been a lot of really great K-pop releases, um, I actually a few days ago I did talk about Eilit's release, Eilit's comeback, which is their third mini album, Bomb, and also talked about their new MV, Do the Dance. Now, aside from Eilit, there have been a lot of great releases for the past few weeks, even before the Eilit released, and you've got Isna releasing Beep, which is a bop. You've got Idol coming out, who came out with their song. But one group that I really want to talk about is already in my goated levels. Now, what does that mean? Basically, these are groups that actually just really, yeah. There's just a few groups that whatever happens will always be in my top. You cannot move them away because like they're in. I would have to say like in the Hall of Fame that they're already in there, and that group is Itzy. If you'd like to know my goated groups, well, first off, there's Twice, Forever, Twice. There's Itzy. There's Big Bang. Even if whatever happened, I'd always say Big Bang. Super Junior. And, well, for me being a Filipino, 21. So, these groups are like my ultimate groups that they're up there. They're not gonna go anywhere anymore. And the youngest of those groups is actually Itzy. Now, Itzy is a five-member Korean group under JYP, which also has the same label as Twice. Now, they have been in the scene for around 7 years already. So they are actually under fourth gen and the early parts of fourth gen, and they were known as super rookies because they really came out really jumping. They really debuted really hard and um, got everybody excited, and they've gotten to that level where everybody knows Itzy. Now, most people would say that they had a bit of a dip in popularity with their sneakers era, and also with their English song, "Boys Like You." But then again, personally, I never felt the dip because I've always loved them. But I would say maybe in terms of whole thing, that kind of dip because there was a change in their musicality. They've always had their music as something girl power, girl crush, espousing strength and being espousing strength for being a woman. Then I guess when they did Sneakers, they did Cake. That kind of, maybe that kind of broke the message. But then again, it was personally, it was them. I think that it was them experimenting, and they came back. For a while, Leah, one of the members, went on hiatus. I think it's for anxiety, and they continued as a foursome, and they did a release for that. That was Born to Be, and they also did a tour, Born to Be, without Leah, and in that album, they had hits like Mr. Vampire, which I liked. I actually liked. I really liked a lot. And Born to Be. So Leah came back. I'm happy. Leah came back and they did an album, Gold, where they did some of the songs in Born to Be, this time with Leah, and they added the song Gold and Imaginary Friend. Now, most people would think that this album, Girls Will Be Girls, although this mini album, Girls Will Be Girls, is their return. But for me personally, the return came in earlier with Imaginary Friend. You saw a different side of them. They still espouse girl power. They still espouse being confident as a woman. but this time they added a little bit more dimension to their songs, and I think Imaginary Friend did that for them, and they just stepped it up. They just continued it with Girls Will Be Girls. Now, Girls Will Be Girls is their 10th album. I think it's their 10th EP, if I'm not mistaken. And it has 5 songs. And their main single, or their title track is Girls Will Be Girls. And it has the same message. It talks about being strong together. This time it puts in togetherness now. It's not a smug. I would say the message is not as smug as they were when they were younger. It's a little more grounded. I feel it's a little more grounded. And the music video is amazing. It's like in a post-apocalyptic dystopian world wherein they basically had to rescue Leah. Yeah, I think and the set design, you can really see that they spent on it, and the choreography is amazing. Now, Itzy has always been known to be great dancers. They can sing, yes, and they're great dancers. And they just showed it here. They did a new dimension to their shoulder movements, which is something they did which was iconic in Ryujin Start for Wannabe. And they did something different now. It's also with their shoulders. They did their body twist in the dance break and the movements, which is another iconic thing for them. And I would say that this is this is not a return because they never left. This is just their message that they're here, that they were always here. They never left. And one thing I love about Itzy is that they will show that strength, and at the same time, in their other content, you'd see how much they love each other. You'd see how Charyong would be so nice and so sweet to each other and sweet to people. And by the way, apologies for that because I've assumed that everybody knows Itzy, but Itzy again is a 5-member group under JYP. We have Yeji, who's the leader. We have Ryujin, we have Leah, we have Yuna, and Charyong. Now, Charyong was actually in the survival show that Created Twice, but at that time she was pretty young. She was a little bit too young for this. Now, Yeji, their leader, also did a solo performance, Air, which is amazing. I did a quick video on it. It's actually more part of my roundup, but Yeji did a solo for Air, which is also amazing, and her mini album was also amazing. But I just like to say that the video doesn't really show anything much about their message, but it just shows them being together, and that things can be done better together, and it also still gives off the same girl power vibes that they always have been doing ever since. And Itzy isn't back because they never left, right? And that's also something that I've been dying to talk about, but I guess it was always something that gets another song or another group that gets in the way. But finally, I get to talk about Itzy, and they're always gonna be my ultimate. And Itzy is the only group where my bias changes every day. Yes. So today it's actually Ryujin. Yesterday it was Yuna. So that's all. I guess that they're also my ultimate K-pop crush. Not one person, all 5 of them. So check them out as you always. MV links, and I'll also be putting performance videos in the description. And again, Itzy never left.